Good morning. Happy time zone. We're gonna be continuing on with the mermaid art. And we're gonna talk a lot about Brigador Killers because that game is really cool. Even though I was just playing it yesterday, but you know, it's really cool. I just got a question from Shar about how eye tracking works in this next studio. Hmm. All right. Okay. I forgot to check the VOD, but I'll take your word for it. Right, the VOD is on Twitch, but not on PureTube yet. It does this weird thing with the Sunday videos where like the Sunday video VODs never go up without me manually poking it. Super weird. I don't know why. It's kind of annoying. The music seems really quiet. Can you all hear that? Should I crank that up? I should crank that up. Like, compared to the intro, like, the music is really quiet now. You can hear it fine? Interesting. Oh, wait a minute. Yep. Okay, hold on. It's my terrible audio cables. I can tell because like I lean back and that causes the audio to change because like my keyboard cable is lying across the audio cables. Yeah, this is a problem. Anyway, so I'm not sure how many of you are aware of the ridiculous situation we were dealing with yesterday. Yesterday morning we got a message from Hetzner where we have the storage for the Hetzner where we have the storage for the VODs. All the VODs are stored in a Hetzner like S3, you know. S3 is like the protocol. It's like, you know, Amazon S3, but, you know, not Amazon. It's Hetzner's S3. Anyway, so we got a message from Hetzner being like, "Hey, you know you're using up like a lot of bandwidth, right?" And I'm like, "Excuse me?" So yeah, it turns out some horrible, evil, stupid little bot had started scraping my videos again. This is not the first time that this has happened. You know, last time we moved to Hetzner just because it was cheaper, and it wasn't racking up the quite the same bill as the thing that we were on before. This time it's racking up the bill again. It's doing it like alarmingly fast too. It's going up like super high. So I'm like, wait a second, let's just subdivide these. And so yeah, it's racking up my bandwidth bill. It's costing me like, I don't know, something like $1 an hour at the rate that it was going. Which is highly inconvenient, you know? I don't like that. Why is this not? Scale it down. I do not understand how this is supposed to... Whatever. Just scale this one down. I'm changing up the shape of the tentacles a little bit. I want to make that one a little bit more interesting because it's kind of boring right now from the camera point of view. It's this one right here. It's just kind of going like whoop, blump, and now it's kind of like, let's make it like swirly. They just want to put you out of business. I had considered that possibility, that this is actually just a like a targeted attack to for the purpose of harming me. I had considered that. Anyway, so yeah, we get a message from Hetzner being like, "Hey, you're using up tons of bandwidth." So I wake up. I eventually get out of bed. I read it on my phone, right? I get out of bed. I about an hour after that, I go onto the Hetzner console. It's used up another like 2 terabytes in that hour. And it's like, oh my god, are you serious? And it's like, and so hobbyless behavior, yeah, seriously. Have you considered using Ursula from The Little Mermaid as a reference? No. I mean, like, as much of that like queer villainy stuff that Ursula has going on, I don't personally find her attractive, so. How many IPs did it use? I don't know yet. That's the problem, is I don't have any IP logs for the S3 stuff. Hi, Loki. So so yeah, so I had to go in. By the time I actually turned the thing off, the S3 backend, it was down to like, or it was up by like 2 more terabytes. So I privated the whole S3 backend, which broke all of the videos on video.expiredpopsicle.com. We got at least one comment being like, "Hey, I can't watch this video," because apparently people actually watch the VODs, I guess, which is wild. That's cool. But and I had to explain to them what was going on there. But I managed to get the VODs moved on to a new S3 instance, or sorry, new S3 bucket. So it's all copied over, and the thing is, this bot is going directly for the public URLs of the stuff in the S3, like in the S3 bucket. So it's skipping the PeerTube instance. All these videos have like under 20 views on them each, but for some reason, like the bandwidth numbers that we're seeing on the S3 bucket way higher than the view counts that we're seeing on the PeerTube videos. That means that someone is going directly to those S3 buckets and repeatedly downloading them too, because we're at 6 terabytes of bandwidth usage. There's 3.1 terabytes of content in the bucket, right? And normally this sits at under 100 gigs of traffic. Like, people don't watch the videos that often. So we're at typically like under 100 gigs of traffic, and suddenly now we're at 6 terabytes of traffic in one night. There are 3 terabytes of content on the bucket. So you can see how the numbers aren't really adding up here. Someone is attacking the S3 repository directly. So I had to move everything to a new bucket, because I can't rename the bucket. And I started doing that by downloading everything, which is going to cost me even more for an extra 3 terabytes on top of that, and then uploading it to a new bucket. But then I realized that if I do this with a Hetzner VPS in the same data center in Helsinki, they're not actually going to charge me for the transfer on it, which is great. That's awesome. Thank you, Hetzner. And it also goes a lot faster. When I was looking at like taking like an entire week to do that backup, and I was like, oh, this is gonna suck. And we got it down to like 5 hours of transferring, 5 or 6 hours, somewhere in there. Got everything moved to the new bucket. I set up a proxy on my server that now proxies all of the stuff to that bucket. So now the bandwidth situation is actually a little bit worse for people actually trying to watch videos on the instance. Sorry. Do I have all the videos copied locally? Yeah, but they're different. The ones that I have locally are the ones that I've recorded directly from OBS. Actually, I'm gonna check something really quick. Hang on a second. Speaking of those. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Those are the ones that I record directly in OBS. The ones that go up to Twitch and then get pulled onto the PeerTube instance they have like chapter markers and stuff indicating like what game was being played and a bunch of other like extra data that gets added by being a Twitch VOD. So I prefer those for the actual VODs. So yeah, I do have them all locally. It would also be a pain in the ass to they also have all the video titles and stuff already done, like all that. So I don't want to go and take all my like, you know, timestamp.mkv files and go and have to like upload them and then label them and tag them and use them to replace all the videos that are already on the PeerTube instance as well. Because like so yeah, I wanted to copy the videos that were already there. So we moved them all to a new bucket. And I modified PeerTube so that it now proxies all of the... I didn't modify PeerTube, I changed the PeerTube settings so it proxies everything through my server in San Jose. Unfortunately, this means that if someone's trying to watch videos from Europe, it's going to do a nasty round trip. It's going to go from Europe to San Jose to Europe again, and that sucks. But like, I had to deal with some cores nonsense, some like, you know, allow origin, blah 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 blah, whatever crap. And so like having it run on the server itself was the easy route there. And I bypassed a lot of issues. I did initially try doing it through a different subdomain. I was having all these like extra like cross-origin like issues. So like it wasn't able to fetch from videocache.expiredpopsicle.com, but it is but it can pull from video.expiredpopsicle.com/videocache. So that's the URL that things get proxied through now. So anyway, this is all extremely annoying. I have this proxy setup, but now with the proxy setup, I can look at the IPs of things going through, and I can IP ban their asses, and I can also throttle them. So hopefully we will not have to deal with this in the future in exchange for really crappy bandwidth on my server. And if anyone out there wants to help me with the cores thing, like the remote origin, whatever, blah 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 stuff, I would love to set up the stuff on a Hetzner VPS instead of the server that I have in San Jose. That way it would be like the Hetzner VPS would be proxying to something within the same data center, and I wouldn't be, yeah, it'd be a lot cheaper all around. Actually no, it would be technically more expensive, but anyway, it would be faster. I've heard on Fetty of some other folks dealing with some crazy high scraping traffic. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Hang on a second. My sound's getting really messed up. I'm only getting audio in my right ear now. I mean, I am losing hearing in my left ear, but not like this. Right, that's... Oh, no, that's still not... Oh, it's this cable right here. Why are audio connectors so bad? Jeez. Alright, I think that's fixed for now. If I can pull the keyboard back into position. Yeah, it's wild how just, like, completely lawless all of the AI scrapers are. Come on, what is going on with my headphones? Ah. Hey Evie, thank you so much for the raid. All right, let me get you a shout out. It's not Snack, yeah, it's Burb today. And we're drawing some tentacles. Whoop. This is the art as it exists right now. We are changing up the pose a little tiny bit. Love the model, thank you. I made it myself. I also made the VTuber software it runs in. Welcome Raiders, how's it going? How'd your stream go? What were you up to? Alright. You know what? That's fine. We'll just leave it there. We'll just draw it correctly. Alright. I'm gonna go render image. Burb was marathoning. What? Alright, we're going to go, let's see, image, save as. There we go. And it should automatically update in here. There we go. Alright, we got a much more interesting thing to draw this time. Hey, wait, don't say that. That's the... That's the thing that the Discord bots say to you. They're like, hey, with like a bunch of Ys. I don't know why they do that. Octopus Yuri, it's a Cecilia and a human girl. That's what we're drawing. It's Mermaid, and I'm still on a mission to become a renowned Yuri artist, so, you know. Yes, robot VTuber says TwitchBot things. Oh, if you're a robot VTuber, I need to make sure I follow you. I do follow you. Okay, great. Been following other robot folk on Fetty. Pretty much anytime I see a fellow robot, fellow queer robot, I have to follow. As a gay robot, yeah. Oh, thank you, Sabine. Ooh, Sabine just brought me some breakfast. Delicious. It's good to find other queer robots? Yes. Yes, it is. No. Look, I might have a type. It's actually my model number. It's sorry. Yeah, robot slash mecha is a good robot slash mecha. On Discord, bots I get for my stuff is wild. There are, oh my god. So because Kiri and I we moderate the Joe Dot Discord, or helped moderate the Joe Dot Discord. There are so many compromised like Discord accounts out there that get turned into bots. There's a lot that are just bots from the very beginning, but like the amount of times that we've run into like the Mr. Beast coin scam thing is just wild. It's like, how are people still falling for this crap? Like a bunch of accounts that are there, and they've been there for a long time, and suddenly they start like posting these like screenshots for the Mr. Beast coin scam thing. Please remind Sabine she's wonderful. Hey Sabine, you're wonderful.
Thank you.
She says thank you. You just barely hear it. Got the noise cancellation and stuff cranked up pretty aggressively. It's not surprising. But yeah, like, you know, what was I saying? Robots. Gay robots. Oh yeah, I was also talking about the right. Okay, so the proxy for the S3 service stuff. When I was trying to use a different subdomain for it, and it was complaining about like allow origin cores request something whatever. I haven't been able to figure out how to deal with that situation yet. And if I could, then I could actually put the proxy on a Hetzner VPS and have that proxy proxy much closer to the actual S3 provider, probably within the same data center. Maybe, I'm guessing. I don't know. Just got to figure out how to set the Nginx configuration again, which I can never do because it's really complicated. I mean, I've been using Nginx for a long time, but every time something is like cores error, and it's like, oh my god. Pisses me off when I just want to let someone on a local machine without, yeah, or test something on a local machine. No, you can't request from deleted URL. No. Robots are cool, verb cute. Thanks. I think robots are cool. File colons. The pinky sound that goes off. Yeah, there's a cooldown on it. Just to make sure that people don't like spam it or something. Someone said once I prefer it clean the dishes for me to do. Yeah, yeah. So the dream was to have all the robot servants that will do the dishes and the laundry and all that stuff, so that you can spend time doing art and enjoying yourself and stuff like that. Now the robots, they're the ones doing the art and enjoying themselves, while the humans are stuck. While the humans can do the dishes. You know. I mean, like, distinguishing between sentient and non-sentient machines there. Sentient machines are allowed to make art, but that's none of what the LLM craze is all about. This arm right here bothers me, but I think that is actually correctly foreshortened on there. Oh no, it actually does go down a little bit further. Yeah, let's redraw that. I think we gave her a thicker arm, but we thickened it in the wrong direction. Has anyone seen the music video for this song? There's like a guy who's driving a car, and the car like demands human sacrifice in order to fuel it. So he's like feeding it people. Yeah, procedural generation stuff for like is always. I mean, it's been a thing for a long time in games, but this is what we're seeing from like modern LLMs and stuff is just sycophantic copyright infringement. Neck noises, burp noises right now. Sorry, it's a good song, okay? I mean, it's like I can't exactly sing along with most Dance of the Dead songs because they're not vocal, but you know, can do my best. Though there are a few good ones that do have vocals. Cold as Hell, where they had one of the singers from Le Broc, if that's how you pronounce that. It's cold as hell under ice, where your frozen tongue tells 1,000 lies. You know that one? Oh, God, I love that song so much. Oh, thank you for hydrate. And head pads. I should probably reduce all the cost of the redeems again, because they're probably up a little bit high now. Well. Ow! Maybe I shouldn't reduce them. Ow! What kind of oil do you drink? fully synthetic. I'm vegetarian. I'm just kidding. Technically oil is mostly made of like plant matter. Not people are like oil is dead dinosaurs. It's like it's actually mostly plant matter. Ancient oil, the vintage stuff. Yeah, the stuff that's really hard to get now for some reason. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Well, is mostly made of plant matter, then why is soybean oil a thing? I mean, I think it's a different kind of oil than what stuff that we're talking about, right? But I think you answered your own question there. If it's mostly made of plant matter, then soybean oil is very easily a thing. Wondering if since we can press oil from plants today, what if ancient trees were less sap, more oil? Huh. Weird to think about. 1970s engines. As someone who owns a vehicle with a 1970s engine, I can't actually remember what kind of oil I give that thing. It's usually some really thick stuff. It is an AMC 401 in a 1975 Jeep CJ5, 1974 Jeep CJ5. The 401 is a wonderful little bucket of bolts. It's a 6.6 liter V8. It's an engine swap, so like that Jeep didn't have that stock. Yeah, it's it's pretty big. Everyone who hears me mention it, who actually knows about Jeeps, are like, you put a what in a what? And it's like, yeah, it's not very safe to drive. It's actually too much power. It's I mean, not too much power as in like it's like super fast or something. Too much power as in it will, it is likely capable, if pushed too hard, of twisting the frame into a pretzel. CJ5 frames are not the strongest thing in the universe. It's also very loud. It's a very loud engine. It's like and sounds like an old muscle car, you know. So I don't drive it very much. Again, partially because it's unsafe, partially because it's just too loud. It's too loud, and also it's not repaired. It's been out of commission for years now, actually. been a long time since I drove it anywhere. It'll take a bit of work to get it up into running condition again. Needs a new intermediate steering shaft, new steering gearbox entirely. Need to figure out why the brake fluid's always leaking. Need to figure out why the clutch fluid's always leaking. Need to add extra cooling to the front. I actually have all the parts I need for these fixes. I just never got around to them. Alright, can we turn off the training wheels? There we go. The grave of a CEO. I'm gonna look at the lyrics of this song because I can't understand like half of it, but the parts that I can understand go really hard. Okay, so gonna party on the grave of a CEO. Guess me over fat beats. Download that revolution in his file, baby. Take it all back from the Nepo babies. Plant seed, retry, then do it again. Copy paste archive and send to your friends. They can't catch us all, catch us all, catch us all. And they're gonna take the fall, take the fall, take the fall. I like this. It's the internet sickness and it came from the shore. Guess some ponies gotta be a corporate whore. Counter revolutions and the magic of friends. DIY is everything. When the world is chrome, patch your heart with a string. Baby Punk is the girl who remembers to bleed. When you're dancing with yourself in the face of greed. Oh my god, this song is awesome! Hello! Hey GazVT, how's it going? Yeah, I like this chorus. Party on the grave of a CEO, yeah. Let's be over fat beans down the... I don't know, yeah, I can't quite... I should learn how to sing this, this is good. Copy paste archive and send to your friends. I'd have to shift it down by like 2 octaves, but
Yeah, baby. Shelly, do you want to hop on this next one? Alright, let's do it.
Violet Pony is so good. Oh my god. Like, the more I listen to the music, the more I appreciate Violet Pony. So yeah, Brigador Killers. We were playing that yesterday. That was really, really, really cool. Y'all should play it. Have you listed Brigador Killers yet? You should probably do it. Oh my god, it's so much fun. That game is going to be amazing when it comes out. I can already tell. Like, that gameplay loop they have on there is just... that's the stuff. It's like extraction, looter, mech crimes thing that, I don't know, it's good. It's really, really good. I really, really hope that when the game actually launches that they have a really, really good launch. I think they deserve it. Especially after, like, Brigador. Brigador is the game that just had, like, the worst launch, but then had this, like, just... Brigador, the original Brigador is an amazing game. Like, I love it. But it just had, like, the worst launch. And so this, like, this really, really cool indie game just got, like, overshadowed by something that launched at the same time as it. It was just kind of like, it was just by chance, right? They didn't know this other thing was going to be coming out. And like Hugh Monahan actually has some talks where he's talked about this stuff in like on a stage and about Brigador's like bad launch. But you know, they built up this community with Brigador over the last like decade or so. I think Brigador came out in 2016. And now they have this audience, and, you know, so there's a lot of people with, like, high expectations of this game, unlike the last game where they were kind of unknown. And it's like, you know, the question is, are they actually going to be able to make something that I think that audience is actually going to go for, and that audience is going to, like, promote it and stuff, like me, because I was promoting it by playing it. And I think, so far from what I can tell, the answer is yes, because I really, really enjoyed that. I am very, very impressed by the Brigador Killers demo, and I want more. I'm not even done with it yet, and I already want more. Like, I can see where they're going with it, and I'm super heckin' excited. I'm gonna lose so many hours into that game. I am planning to lose hours into that game. I'm gonna mark it on my calendar, you know? This void right here, that's me playing Brigador Killers at some point in the future. Also, did I mention that it's my birthday this Friday? Didn't really have the time and bandwidth to set up a like a charity stream thing this time, unfortunately. But next month is my HRT anniversary, and that lands on a Sunday, which we will have all the time that we need to do a cool charity stream or something. It's June 21st, by the way. Birthdays at my age are just a number kind of like, yeah, just another thing where it's like, yeah, the number went up again. Dang it. It is what it is. You don't get any cool privileges after like 25, right? 25 is like the last one where you can like, okay, you're allowed to rent a car now. all the other ones, you know, you turn, depending on the country that you're in, you turn 16, and now you can drive a car, in the U.S. or in, at least I don't know if that's a state by state thing. You turn 18, you can all kinds of things, right? Unlock at 18, and then like 21, you can start drinking, if that's the route you want to go, which I recommend you don't, but you know, you know. And then at 25, you can rent a car if you want, I guess. And then after that, it's the birthdays are birthdays just become less and less important to me as I've gotten older. Or it's like, oh, yep, the number went up again. Cool. I've been telling people, like, don't even get me birthday presents. Just if you want to give me something, just make a charitable donation to like Trans Lifeline. Or the Trevor Project or something. Oh, hello. How you doing? Oh my god, hands are so hard to draw. We got this weird looking one coming on around her back, which I think we never properly modeled that one, so it's just kind of. All right, we'll wait. We should have the Brigador Killers soundtrack to the stream playlist eventually. Maybe get the Nuclear Option soundtrack in there too. Well, okay, we can't really do those because we're currently. There's like the stuff that's stream safe, just that happens to be stream safe, and there's the stuff that's stream safe because we actually have like extremely explicit permission from the artist or other copyright owner to put on there. Right now, the stream playlist is stuff that only has explicit permission instead of stuff that's just like coincidentally stream safe. And we've been doing this so that we could stream to YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, have we got any comments over there? Nobody cares about the YouTube stream. Sitting at average 0 viewers for forever. It's fine. There's like one person who occasionally pops over there to comment. Sarah Civi, I think. It's okay, I prefer Twitch community anyway. Oh my god, why are hands so hard to draw? I'll figure this out. I'll do it. I'm gonna do it. YouTube feels like a weird place when it comes to streaming. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh. I'm just gonna have some of this breakfast before it goes, like, really, really cold. YouTube is also really bad to push live streams to viewers. Yeah, it's I figured I should have a presence over there of some kind, even if it's not like a really strong one. Just it's like a backup plan maybe as another way to promote the things, but like so far nobody has paid attention to it. It's like, yeah, discoverability must be extremely ass over there because like it gets like no organic viewership. Like nobody comes by to view those streams aside from people who knew about me through Twitch. So of course, now that I mention it, but someone went over there to say something. Nope, they didn't. Okay. I'll get the chat window for that up either way. Yeah, I mean, I went into that kind of with an explicit sort of thing where it's like, I am not going to try to fight against the algorithm, or I'm not going to try to, like, you know, tune stuff for the algorithm. I'm not going to deal with that crap. I don't want to deal with YouTube's, you know, I don't want to deal with YouTube's nonsense. I'm just going to be there, and exist there, but not really intend to engage with YouTube a whole bunch. I feel like unless you're HoloLive, streaming on YouTube is bad. I mean, like, one of my team members, well, two of my team members, you know, Lena and Cyan, they stream on YouTube, pretty much exclusively. Like, they don't stream on Twitch. And they get a lot of viewers over there, but I don't know, I think they must have, like, I don't know where their fan base comes from, but they already have an existing fan base, so... Fellow null pointer livers. Changing stuff to cater to the algorithm is a pain. Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, what we have here is something that really isn't, like, tuned to the algorithm either. But y'all are here anyway, right? Like, you know, what we did here is just, I think it's a little bit more organic. You know, I came on here, I'm just drawing my stuff. I'm playing, like, obscure games, I'm playing indie games and retro games that people have. I'm not playing, like, the current meta, right? I'm not playing the Fortnites or the whatever it is that people do to advance in the Twitch, like, meta, and stuff. And it's still working out, like, here, okay. Saw a trans lesbian play too. You know, there's a surprising number of trans lesbians who play Doom. Just saying. It's almost like it's a really common thing for some reason. Rediscovered you on Fetty when I was looking for a cat girl artist to follow. Oh no. When was the last time I drew a cat girl? I need to get my cat girl quota back up, or back up cat girl drawings back up to proper, like, cat girl artist quota, I guess. There's just so many different kinds of like girl creature to draw that, you know, sometimes the cat girls, sometimes they got tentacles. Sometimes, maybe, you know what? Maybe they have both. Oops. Maybe not. I like girls, so you know. It's an artist I used to follow and they're a streamer. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, hold on. How far back are we talking about that they used to follow me? Talking about like the DeviantArt days, or even earlier than that, or just like when I had my Twitter account. Oh my god! Oh wow! 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 Holy crud! I haven't touched that account in a while. Uh-oh, this is about to be awkward. Been around, been a player, I've seen the world through the eyes of a slayer. So many lies, so many places I've been since the first time I tasted. Dreams of fiction? What are the... Hello, fellow Owncaster. Hello, fellow Owncaster. I am Cuddle the Foxcat, a foxcat that likes to cuddle a whole bunch. Neat. Hear you about Twitch and algorithms and all. Yeah, we mainly stream to Twitch. That's why we have the Twitch chat up here and the Owncast chat here. No YouTube chat. Team Mocha would like to know if I would squeeze them, and I think, like Kiri, my answer is probably no. That's something that's reserved for close friends, and I also don't have the same anatomy. If that's what you're going for there. I see that avatar that you have. I know what you're into. Anyway, yeah, we were talking about Twitch algorithms and stuff. Twitch seems to be okay for... I mean, I started off, I just was doing my own thing. And it seems to be doing... Channel seems to be doing pretty good, you know? All things considered. And that's from just playing, like, you know, indie games and doing art and silly things like that, and not playing with the meta. I think that's like my thing now, is like I'm just... I think it might be one of the reasons why... Oh god? Which oh god? Is it because the Lamia chaser is here? The only thing that I have to squeeze with is a pair of very industrial-looking metal thighs. Good morning. How you doing? You know what? Someone's probably into that anyway. So maybe I shouldn't go there. Reenact that final scene from the Terminator movie, but with thighs. When in doubt, someone's probably into it. Probably, yeah. Except in this case, it would be the robot doing the crushing, not the... Yeah, whatever. It's going well enough. Crush me with your head. I'd rather squeeze a plushie. See, that's what I've been saying. That was what Kiri was saying. Yeah, you know, that's a thing for close friends and loved ones, and only with consent of everyone involved. So that's not a thing that I do with internet randos. I have to spend it on Twitch because my content was more than 13 plus, so less than 18 plus. So I went host my own thing where I can do 2010s DeviantArt PG-13 mild and mild mature. Rating is dead on big tech. This rating is dead on big tech, sadly, but it existed and technically now it does. I'm pondering, should I mark NSFW anyway? So so the Owncast directory has some rules on it that are probably going to be kind of similar to Twitch's rules. So if you want to be listed in the Owncast directory, you got to at least pay attention to their rules, right? So I'd probably go based on whatever they say, if you want to be in the Owncast directory, which you don't necessarily have to. I'm just actually kind of curious now. Hang on a second. Am I currently on the Owncast directory? I should be. Oh, yep, right there. Front page. It's me. Yay. Just drawing gay stuff right on the front page of Owncast.directory. Awesome. Perfect. Is there any defense a streamer can take against someone with an infinite arsenal of alt accounts? More mods, technical solutions like we did to the Hate Raiders. Found you from the... Oh, okay. I have to assume that's probably where most of the people on Owncast find me. That or like through Fetty. Because it is post also to Fetty. Fetty is something that I will not bring up on stream, like visually. I mean, I'll talk about Fetty. I just won't like browse Fetty on stream because, yeah, you know, sometimes people don't actually mark their spicy stuff. Cute cuddles, thanks. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this one's turning out. We actually got a pretty dynamic pose for once. We started using a new mannequin model, so that we have... I like to pose it out in Blender. I got a new mannequin model, and that model is working out a lot better than the one that I was using. So I was previously using one that I made myself that had a really kind of janky rig based on Blender's Rigify system. This time I just went and bought like a mannequin off the marketplace, and it's working so much better. We did model the tentacles in this, just really roughly modeled the tentacles so we'd have something to act as like an evenly spaced reference for the for these.
So we already extra happy.
Our whole team at Ear Crush is rocking out to this track.
But yeah, the thing about the alt accounts is there's still technical things that we can do against armies of alt accounts, and we have done them. I won't disclose them publicly on stream like right away, because I rely on those to prevent hate raids. But we do have a few technical countermeasures to that. I'm gonna take a few more bites of this breakfast. Sorry about the incoming slurping noises. Ow. Yeah, we used to have a plugin actually that would like have a layer here in Blender, and every time we like modified something in Blender, it would update that layer. But the plugin broke with Krita 6.0, and it doesn't seem like the author's going to be updating it, so we have to kind of do it a little bit more manually, but it's still working out okay. I relied on that a lot though, especially. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can bring up the. I think y'all know exactly what I'm about to bring up. The what is this? Let me hey, does anyone know where we saved the art of the you know, the intro screen art that we used today? Let me go dig around in my art directory. Hang on a second. Be really weird if I lost the art for that, the original art for that, because that would really suck. I would not like that. It's something that we still did pretty recently. Oh god, where did I put that stuff? I found it. Okay. I found part of it. I did not find the actual art. I found a bunch of things used in the art. There we go. Open a new document. This file is 200 megabyte drawing, but can I have my social features without being listed in the directory? I don't remember. Anyway, this art that Curie did is the very bottom of this. Not the very bottom, but this relied really heavily on Blender to lay out all of this stuff. And I think we could even open up where's the blend file for that? God, we spent so long on that art, too. Actually, that might still be in my recents here. Rin Tower Animated 4... No, that's not it. Rin Balcony 10. That's probably it. Okay, that's going to take a bit to load that. Oh, thankfully we limited Blender to only using 4 cores. Probably wisely. Abs. No, we gotta draw abs today. Anyway, yeah, this is the Blender scene for the intro art. To like lay out all of this stuff in the scene. We even have a couple of stools over there that aren't even, like, visible. That helped out a whole lot, though. And of course, we got a few mannequins, which don't properly represent my digitigrade legs. These are my mannequins. These ones are the ones that don't look very good. Yeah, so that led to that. So yeah, this has been a really good workflow for me. It's made it a lot easier for me to do really cool dynamic poses and stuff. Though I'm still really bad at being creative about poses, so we're trying really hard with this one to pull off something good there. Yeah, now that we have this like area exposed here, we need to draw an ear on the Cisalia. I often draw hairstyles that obscure the ears. It's not because I'm afraid of drawing ears. It's just kind of a hairstyle I tend to go for. Not that I'm good at drawing ears, but... Hi, Viper. I'm trying to follow, but there's an error. Unable to determine remote follow information. I've entered my username on my server's URL without... let's... Clicking join the Fediverse gives a... That's weird. Hang on a second. that? Interesting. Okay. That's different from me. Join Fediverse.wiki is 403. It seemed to be working for me. Over there. Yeah, this is... have you been IP banned from it? If you're using like a VPN or something, they could have IP banned the VPN. Here, I would do this. I would say the Fedi account on this is I'll give you the username. There. See if you can follow that that username. Yeah, see if you can just follow that username from your own instance. That's probably the best way. And we're doing some live Federation debugging. Nice. Cool. Yeah, at Kiri_live, at live.expired.popsicle.com, will hopefully do the trick. We should start busting out the Federation testing tools and all that. We've had plenty of people following that instance though, so I don't think there's anything wrong on my end there. Go to your own server, search for that username and password. What service are you on? Are you on like Mastodon, Sharky, Miski, etc.? Some of your school tools are available on Linux. Oh, that's neat. Be careful though. Don't let them install spyware on your computer. When I was at university, they made people run like this weird software on their machines in order to access the network. But if you're running Linux, they would just let you access the network without installing it. I don't know if you can have one Owncast instance follow another Owncast instance. What would that even do? Hello Mnemotic, how's it going? No, it wasn't that it was like necessary for accessing the network. It was more that it was just like it was a requirement for security purposes, because they wanted to make sure that you were running like antivirus and all kinds of other crap, and maybe probably some spyware too. So it's like it's not that it was a technical requirement, that enabled you to use the thing. It was that they restricted you if you didn't use it. So. Yeah, so if you follow the stream, you'll get notified on the Fediverse. That means that's because it'll send a notification to a Fediverse instance. Something like Mastodon or Sharky or possibly PeerTube. I don't know what happens when you follow an Owncast from a PeerTube. Be an interesting experiment to try. Okay, fine. I will briefly, for a moment, pull up my Fediverse timeline. Just give me a second. I'm gonna hide my screen first. Actually, no. I'm gonna take a screenshot of my Fediverse timeline, but I have to turn off my capture first. I want to risk something like popping up while I'm while I'm showing it. All right, double checking to make sure there's nothing like secret in here. There we go. Okay, this is what Fediverse looks like for me. So I follow my own. I follow the instance, right? So this is I'm getting these notifications here. I would get them in this timeline also, but this stuff is moving way too fast. So I have like another thing that I've made like a little category for some of the stuff that would appear here shows up in here. It's like a pre-made filter. It's called Fediverse Streams, and it's just anything that someone's streaming on PeerTube, Owncast, like whatever that I follow goes into that category. But yeah, and then here's my notifications and stuff. People have been bringing up Anubis like over and over and over again with that whole like mess that I was talking about. I can't use Anubis for that, but anyway. So yeah, normally I get posts like this, the same way that I get posts like these. Should I install a Mastodon service onto my VPS? I mean, if you want Mastodon, sure. I actually like Sharky a little bit more. Sorry, this is Kiri's Mastodon instance, or not Mastodon. This is Kiri's Mastodon account. I should probably not be showing this. Showing this off when I could be showing off my own. I think there's just like a lot more lewd stuff on my own one, but I can take a screenshot still. Alright, and this is what Sharky looks like to me. This is a different piece of software. I like Sharky. I think the UI is a little bit better than Mastodon. It's a little bit cleaner, faster, but you know, it's up to you what you want to run. And so if there's like a little search button right here, and if I go into that, and then I can type in Kiri live at live.expiredpopsicle.com. I'm pretty sure this isn't going to bring up anything weird here. So I clicked here, I typed in the thing in the search. Are you sure you want to look this up? It actually asks you that because it's about to make a request to the other server. Oops, I gotta make sure there's nothing up in my bar here. We'll just rip that tab off. Whoop. We're gonna click OK. And... oh, okay. And this is what the account looks like. This is what the Owncast looks like through Sharky. So I'm on I would rather burn.com, which is my Sharky instance, and I've looked up my own cast instance. And these are what the posts look like. They're just that is interesting that they all have the same thumbnail because they're all pulling from the same place for the post. Interesting. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to quit that browser. Turn this off. It's just art tools, Maya and ZBrush. They gave us a whole Adobe, sure, but I like the GNU image manipulation program and Krita more. I was in that situation once. I had to do like it was like a Photoshop class basically, and I did everything in the GNU image manipulation program instead. These days I just use Krita for everything. I love Krita. So Cuddle the Foxcat, it does seem like you're fairly new to like the Fediverse stuff. I know this stuff takes a little bit to figure out. It takes even longer to figure out how to set it up and maintain it properly and stuff. But I find it worthwhile to do it. VT.social is the account that that Curie posts on, which is a Mastodon instance. It's pretty much just all VTubers. Of course, people can interact and follow from other Mastodon instances and stuff. So, but the people that live on that instance are all VTubers. And it's a multi-user thing where Owncast is like a single-user thing. There's only like the one account on it. Let's see. Sharky is also multi-user. It's similar to Mastodon in that regard. It's kind of like a federated Twitter replacement, you know. I like Sharky a lot, though. Yeah, I think in my experience, Mastodon was actually harder to configure than Sharky, but it's also been a long time since I did any of that stuff, and it's, yeah. I think the hardest one to set up has been... The hardest one to set up and maintain so far has been PureTube. You know, for reasons like the things that I was just talking about with the bandwidth stealing, like, AI scraper bot that was just attacking us. Best way I can describe the Fediverse is to someone who is new is like email. Yeah, the email analogy really kind of falls flat for a lot of people, unfortunately. Because there are so many people who are just like on Gmail, and so everyone, you don't really like see, you know, like everyone just sees it as like Gmail is just the email service. What works better, I think, is phone services, because you know there's a high probability that you're on a different phone service than the person that you're talking to, because like there's a pretty good distribution of phone services out there. Someone can be on AT&T, someone can be on T-Mobile, they can still call each other, and it's totally like transparent, right, between them, that like you don't have to know what service someone else is on in order to call them, and yet these services interact with each other. So I tend to use like phones and phone numbers as a thing. It's that way, because like I think people get that, you know, when they pick a phone carrier, they're not worried about not being able to like call people on other carriers. And you know, you can then just like take that analogy, go over to social media with it, and be like, okay, great. Now imagine you sign up for a social media platform, and it doesn't matter which platform you're on, because you can still interact with people on the other platforms. You know, don't have to log into. You don't have. If you're a T-Mobile user, you don't have to log into an AT&T account just to call an AT&T like phone user. People are at least familiar with that choice, where they're not as familiar with the choice in email. A lot of the time they seem to just have been given an email provider, and that's just the one that they always use, you know? Well, Low Life Parasite is running a scraper for that anyway. Jeez. I wish I knew. I would do some unkind things to them. Unkind, but still perfectly legal things to them. Actually, because I now have the because I'm now going to be getting the IPs again, I'm going to be able to IP ban them, first of all. Second, I'm going to be able to send abuse reports to... It's probably going through Google, because it was going through Google last time. All the IP addresses were... If you did like reverse hostname lookups on them, it said like Google user content, something.googleUserContent.com. And so next time I actually get my hands on the IP addresses, I think I will probably send an abuse report to Google and be like, yo. And before anyone's like, oh, it's probably Google itself doing it, I don't think Google itself would be stupid enough to continually pull the same files over and over and over again that way. I think that's very much a thing that a person without like the resources to actually store all their training data is trying to do. Google does have those resources. But there's some incompetent people working at Google, so who knows? You know, they could impress me with their incompetence. You'd think, though, like the fact that they immediately got a bunch of 403s from it probably should be an indication that maybe they're doing something a little bit naughty. Hey, I did not require upgrades at this time. I don't see enough Cecilias in anime. We really don't. They're also kind of hard to draw. Nor do we see enough Lamias. I agree. Yeah, well, I'm going to be banning IPs that are linked to, like, VPSs, not phones. If someone was doing that with a phone, they'd be racking up their own bandwidth bill, like, super, super, super heckin' high. But the VPSs, those are going to be largely like within that kind of like, you know, commercial or industrial range. They're going to be like a range allocated to a bunch of virtual private servers run by like a corpo, not from individual users. Gotta be very careful with the faces on this drawing. That's kind of the emotional core of the drawing is right here. There's a lot of subtlety in it, you know? This is on a VPS, and that VPS probably has a static IP address. And if as so long as that static IP address is fine and doesn't do anything naughty, then it will not be banned by my IP ban script. Actually, you want to see something wild? Hold on a second. You want to see IP bans in action? Here. I'm gonna do a little bit of Right, so this is my hosts.deny file. As you can see, it is very long. Hold on a second, I'm gonna focus the background on something other than her, but this is my hosts.deny file. As you can see, it is quite long. There are a lot of IP bans. There are so many IP bans. Oh my god, there are IP bans. And there's a little comment about when each one of those IP bans was added. So we got let's how many of these are just today, right? We got it's 510. There we go. The ones from today start up here. So these are all the IP bans just from today. Now let's go ahead and let's actually take that. We'll sort. We'll do. We'll grep-v beginning of the line. Well, let's strip out all the comments, right? Okay. Now let's go ahead and let's sort it. And we'll sort and we'll say unique to make sure that anything like extra in there is ripped out. And then we'll do WC-L to list to just get the number of lines, and this will be the number of individual IPs banned. We're at 46,573 IPs banned. Yeah, well, we're not banning the IP on your computer. We're banning someone's VPS, which has a static IP, which is not. It's never going to be the same as the IP that you use for your computer. Oh, okay. There's a bunch of them down here that kind of the script kind of gunched stuff a little bit. So ignore these ones. So we're actually at like slightly less than that. But yeah, all of these are IPs that have tried to compromise my server. Until the range gets released and reused, fine. If someone then I'll unban those IPs. Like I can also just do that. What about the wiki site? What about the wiki site? I don't know. Talk to them. But yeah, so I have a script, and all the script does is it scans the HTTP logs. It scans them for a bunch of like known like attack points, because these bots, they're constantly like scanning my server for vulnerabilities, and so they're doing things like looking for like WordPress admin.php, you know, things like that. Just like all these like kind of known attack points that they can scan for to try to automatically compromise something. And so my script, it runs on a cron job. It has like a list of known attack points, and it searches the HTTP logs for those attack points And any IP address found trying to go after one of those points gets added to this list. And you know what? I haven't even updated that list in years. All of these bots, including the ones banned today, are trying to use exploits from at least like 5 years ago. And yeah, I'm gonna start adding things for. I'm gonna start adding booby traps for AI crawlers to it also. Misbehaving AI crawlers specifically, so like things that don't respect like the robots.txt are gonna be added to that. It'll be a little booby trap. It'll be a little like, you know, link on the main page that's like hidden with a little comment saying whatever you do, don't go to this link or you'll be IP banned, and then that'll be added to the list of naughty URLs that cause an IP ban. Should I get an intrusion detection system? Not a bad idea. I mean, mine's just like a weird little custom script that I wrote. So, oh, accidentally erased part of her strap on her clothes here. We can make it kind of hot if it's just like down on the shoulder a little bit. Will I get in trouble for that? Is that too hot? Let's find out. Trying to figure out a way to make it look like a little bit folded over on itself over here, because it's like it's slack, right? It's not just going to be like that. It's going to be a little bit. How exactly would that work? So yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm going to continue to have to use IP bans as like a continuing tactic, because that seems to be the only way to shake off some of these attacks. Not even really like shake them off, just kind of, you know. But again, these are not the same IPs used by, like, you know, home internet ranges or anything like that. These are things like VPSs running malicious scanners, compromised servers from other services, and probably some amount of VPNs, because people are running those scanning things through VPNs. If the slot bros weren't so dumb and so hell-bent on feeding their models, we wouldn't have to do this. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to block off my website to the entire internet, if that's what you're asking. Like, and kind of the point of having the website is that people on the internet can read it. We're gonna redraw this entire chest area. Is that... Wait, is that boob? Wait, hold on. I'm just gonna put the boob over here. Wait, give me a second. Oh yeah! Okay. Wow, that is a lot further over than I kind of expected it to be. In that case, we gotta actually draw this a little bit further in. I want to cover that up. Some people say AI is the future, and I say the bubble can't pop out fast enough. Yep, yep. I saw a video this morning that's kind of making the rounds on Fetty, and there's like this. I guess it's like graduation time for a lot of universities and stuff. So there was a graduation speech happening by someone who was like someone who was an alumni. It wasn't actually one of the people graduating, but that person was like said something about like AI is the next industrial revolution, and the entire student body was like boo, and she was like really surprised, and I was like what? Just like didn't know what was going on, why people were like booing at this, and it's so like emblematic, I think is the right word for that, of just someone's in a bubble and the rest of them aren't, you know? A little bubble of AI hype, while the rest of everyone has to deal with reality, you know? Yeah, so the thing about Anubis is it could break Federation. And the thing is that, like, for the PeerTube instance, federated services need to be able to access the videos. And if those federated services aren't also gated by Anubis, then it's pointless. It's like let's do a really silly analogy for this. All right, imagine I have a house that's like a really cool, like, doomsday fortress. I'm gonna pull out a different drawing app for this. It's a really cool doomsday fortress with this awesome, really cool, like, you know, I got my portcullis and everything on the front, and then you kind of go down, and from the top view it looks like this, right? We got the turrets, right? And then this is my little plot of land, right? And then this is my neighbor over here. And this is my other neighbor over here with their little... They have like normal houses, like little chimneys, and have smoke coming up out of them. Normal houses. I have my normal house behind the portcullis, of course. You can see the issue here, right? No matter how awesome I make my defenses in the front, if someone can go through my neighbor's yard, then they can get to me. And that's being on a federated service. My neighbors need to be able to access my house. But the internet, you know, as a whole, would need to go through this. And if they can go and tell my neighbor to just, you know, they can just go through my neighbor's yard, then it's pointless. Is that a good analogy? Internet. Which is actually more of an outer net, but whatever. Oh my god, there was a missed opportunity to do something really confusing by the people who were coming up with this terminology to begin with. There should have been internet and internet. Instead of intranet, it should have been internet. Okay, maybe not. That would have been really funny though, okay? I assume other PeerTube instances would just embed videos from your instance. Yeah, basically. That's what they do. They were using the S3 URLs directly. So like my instance would send info about the video with the URL to the video, and would just send them the public URL of the S3 like object. Even if you live in the party fortress from the Mask of the Red Death, all it takes is letting in one suspicious masked guest and it all collapses. Yeah. Literary references on my stream? How dare you? You set it on the computer? That's really a good idea. Glad you weren't there to suggest the naming. It's probably for the best. Don't worry. I have plenty of terrible name ideas for things that I can affect. Speaking of the word effect, they basically did the same thing with that, right? Effect versus effect. The verb and noun forms of that are spelled differently. An effect it starts with an E, but to affect something starts with an A. On a Peter model passively versus content. Look, there's a lot of better ways that they could have done what they did. If I wouldn't have cared if they had decided to download all of my content one time. But they didn't. They decided to keep re-downloading the content. If they wanted to like download it and cache it one time, I'd be like, whatever. It was a one-time hit. But like I said, it's a three. The entire bucket has 3 terabytes of data on it, and in one night, it got it got up to 6 terabytes of traffic on it before I cut it off. It's like the only way that you can do that is by downloading the same thing multiple times over and over and over again, you know? Because you can also affect something which is different from affecting it. That's true, yeah. I mean, I'm really bad at this already because I'm a Californian. Like, I can't even pronounce pull and pull differently. Or pull. Pull, pull, and pull. That is, let me do this. So, pull, 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 pull. Oh, that's, hold on. Pool has too many. That's not an eraser. Stop it. Pull, so pull, pull, pool. You can actually, there's a little bit of difference with the way I say pool. Pull, pull, pool, and pull are all the same word to me, essentially, except for pool, which is a little tiny bit different. See, we're trying to bring together all of the vowels into one spot in my in my dialect, and where we can then like make so we can like, you know, do a snap and annihilate the universe or something. It's actually nefarious what I'm doing. Say cube and spooky. For some reason, Sabine thinks that the way I say spooky is funny. You wish there was a Lancer RPG anime? That would be pretty cool if they did it right. But yeah, the California vowel shift is a real thing. Using it to unmake the universe is not a real thing, but other than that, it's a real thing. Is that all the fingers that are showing there? Oh, yeah. Just 3 fingers. Okay. Well, we'll put a little tiny pinky finger over here anyway. Now the other fingers seem really, really big by comparison. You know what, actually, I'm gonna draw a tuft of hair. I'm gonna do the cowardly thing and hide the hands, but I actually wanted to have some hair coming in over the shoulder anyway, so... like, whatever. And we only hid part of the hand, so it's fine. This drawing, we're doing pretty good on the hands, though. You know, like this is. It's not like we're at like 3 out of 4 hands visible, so I think we're still meeting our hands drawing quota to not be considered a complete coward. It's partial coward. Drawing hair that's essentially acting like it would in like 0G or something. This is interesting. This is the first time for me, I think. Or trying to draw hair that's like floating because it's in the water. Gonna go now. All right, have a good one. Bye. Always surprised when people say financial compensation, at least when it comes to regional stuff. Someone from the East Coast, I'm always surprised when people say financial compensation, at least when it comes to region. God, this is turning out really good. I love. This is really nice. This is very. I think after touching up the expressions a little bit and stuff, this feels very precious. The rest of it is just, you know, drawing tentacles and stuff, but the emotional core of the drawing is right here, you know, between these two, the way they're holding each other, and a little bit of this down here, but we still gotta clean up some of the hair, though. Wait a sec. I think this might be one of the more like emotionally resonant images that I've managed to pull off, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Oh, it's nothing. It's only borrowed time. When I see you smile, I think that I might die. And I know that you're still me. But look what's
Oh, I gotta be really, really careful around the face now that I got it just right. Because like anything modifying the face or around the face could disrupt that careful balance that I have. So. Which is why I made a new layer before I started going in and trying to fix this. Okay, I think we're still good. Awesome. Yeah, this section right here, I think we're doing pretty good there. The rest of this, we got a bunch of really long lines, we got suckers and tentacles and all that stuff. But for the most part, you know, we've got the core of the image really where we want it. So I gotta look up octopus suckers again. I don't remember.
how tragic it is to know I'm you. Cursed are all who know us too. I just
It's such an interesting transition how they go from like the top to the bottom, you know, the transition from like one shape to the I've never looked at octopus tentacles this closely. Arms, octopus arms, we're supposed to call them arms. That looks like a slop up there. Oh no. How many of these images are slop? I think. So here's something I just realized. A lot of these images have unevenly spaced like suckers. Like look at this one. See this? What's going on here? I don't know what's going on here. What's going on here too? There's like a row here, and then also a row here. Same with over here. I don't know if that's normal or if this is an AI slop thing and it can't make sense of... Because, like, all the, you know... Some of them have... seem to have really evenly spaced ones. Oh, there's one right at a weird interval.
and wolf now. She staggered back from her mirror, eyes red as
I wonder what causes that.
day.
It's like an injury or something that it recovered from. Maybe it can actually, like, shift them around and move them.
Wolf cried.
Everything sucks? Because... Are you saying that because of the state of the world or because of the tentacles that we're looking at?
Every creature in the crowd make some noise and make it loud. Introducing tonight's special guest is...
There's such an interesting shape though. Sorry, I'm doing all this searching on the other side, other screen, but you know, I gotta be careful. Anything that involves tentacles, searching for it is risky on stream, you know? That is interesting. That looks like an injury from the suckers. and more slop. Anyway, the transition from the top to the bottom is still like really interesting to me. And how like these are, it's almost like from the top it looks like a frilly, almost like a frilly dress, right? Like this over here, what we got going on here. And then it transitions to a bunch of like individual suckers like that. And I've been trying to represent that here, but I'm having a bit of a rough time. Honestly, I think this image right here at the top probably shows the best of that transition. Look at that. See, this over here, this looks kind of like just like a frilly dress, but then it transitions to this. My brain's just having a hard time kind of processing this. It's almost like it's more like that. Like these are actually distinct things visible from the side. Like that. I wasn't looking at upload dates. I wouldn't put it past him though. Considering how much like just blatant disinfo out there because of like AI slop, I could see them just faking the date to make things look more more reliable. Okay, I think it's looking a little bit better. And then the actual like we can offset the center part of the sucker inwards to make it look like it has a little bit of depth to it. Like that. So we're gonna have to do that for all the individual suckers, which we don't have a whole lot of them visible in the scene, so it's not gonna be too hard to do that, I think. Oh yeah, actually, I was going to show a thing. Do you want to see what my videos look like on another PeerTube instance when we open up like the browser like debugging tools? Let's actually have a look at that. Again, I'm gonna dig these up off stream because I don't want to do a whole lot of browsing on. Okay, I got spectra.video up. I'm gonna pick one of my art streams. It doesn't look like I can search for the actual URL. That's disappointing. The Vidiverse. Whatever, we'll just search for expired popsicle. This is spectra.video. There I am. The only objectively correct code formatting take from 1 year ago. Alright. Well, actually, let me scroll for something more recent. No, this is fine. Okay, let's open up the web developer tools. Thanks. Alright, web dev tools. I'm gonna split this off into its own window. Move that over there. And of course that doesn't work for this page. Alright, more tools, web developer tools, move this over here. I'm gonna hit shift refresh on this, and, oh wait, dang it, I have to have the network tab open for, there we go. I wonder how much secret data is actually going to be in these URLs and stuff. I think it's probably fine considering I have this browser profile separated out from all of my usual stuff. So these are all the URLs it's grabbing. Let's go ahead and actually start the video. And then we're gonna actually see the video start to load. I have the correct take on Silence Kiri. So yeah, we can actually see the MP4 files getting pulled right here. Let's have a look at those URLs. Stop that. So we have video.expiredpopsicle.com/videocache, blah, 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 blah. Video cache is the kind of endpoint that then redirects to the S3 bucket. This is with the new setup that I have. Previously, this URL right here would have been directly to the public URL of the S3 bucket. Headpats? Thanks. Thanks for headpats. Engagement? Oh, we're just talking about... We're talking about a situation that we've been dealing with where, my VOD archive was being attacked by bots that were running up on my bandwidth bill. It's 3 terabytes of VOD data, and they had downloaded 6 terabytes in one night of it somehow, because they were continuing to re-download the same stuff over and over and over again, so I had to put it behind a little, like, proxying cache system so I can, like, IP ban them and throttle them and stuff. Which is highly irritating, and I don't like having to do that, but, yeah, it sucks. Anyway, back to art. We're drawing some wholesome tentacles. Some very wholesome tentacles. And it's mermaid, so we're drawing a Cecilia, you know? Sounds like an RTS, but it's Dwarf Fortress coded. It's not a game, it's just... like, someone was actually attacking, like, my server on the internet. Someone was doing a bad thing to me, IRL. Well, as IRL as the internet tends to be anyway. Yeah, we're going through and like detailing each one of her like tentacle suckers like individually. Because this is a good use of my time. No, really it is. No, like, not being sarcastic. Considering how much we went to a bunch of extra effort on the last mermaid drawing to do the like the scales, the fish scales differently from like snake tails that I usually draw and stuff, so you know. We are really good at drawing snake scales at this point. But fish scales are more rounded, so I had to actually put in the effort. Ah. Detail those suckers? Oh, we will. Oh, we will. Oh, I did this. I did these ones wrong. The weird, like, webbing between the tentacles is, there we go, more like that. No, wait. That's also wrong. Now, it goes into the, because it's the place where it actually connects to this tentacle is occluded behind that tentacle, so we actually do it more like that. Yeah, it's gonna go in at that angle, and then presumably underneath it, it's gonna connect, like, in that way. Is this actually helping the drawing? I don't know. Back to this song that I can't sing very well either. Well, I mean, like, yeah, it's just, you know, we sometimes do obsessive detail on the stream too. It's kind of how we do here. To bring up the recent example again, you know, which takes a long time to load because of how much detail we put into it. This one, where we individually detailed every single one of these buildings in the background with all the lighting and everything, and all the individual shading for each heckin' building, one at a time, over the entire image. Oh god, I just left this stuff in. Cybertron's a planet. This is an O'Neill cylinder. Nice trans flag, thanks. Yeah, and then we also have the animated version of it that we use for the intros. And then, yeah, the based on the radius of the O'Neill cylinder here, that's actually the correct rate of rotation that it would have to be rotating at in order to maintain about 1 g of gravity. Hang on a second, I gotta reply to a message really quick. Didn't mean to distract from the moments of suffering. No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Getting nerd sniped on stream is like it's like a tradition for this channel now. It's cool. They put inside your head. Under blackened sky, we light the torches and we hear the sounds of the soundtrack to the rebellion. We light the torch. Dang it. Break the silence. The lyrics keep changing. I mess up a little bit of lyrics and it just ruins my confidence for the rest of the song. Bleh. Break the silence and we make the sounds of the soundtrack. Is it a little tiny bit of curl to the end of this? To the rebellion. We silence and we make the sounds. The soundtrack to the rebellion. The soundtrack to the rebellion. Sorry, more responding to messages. Storms made it harder to sleep. Sorry. Oh yeah. Speaking of like all the horrible stuff happening with the server, does anyone understand like cores like allow origin, all that weird header stuff? Because I still think it would be better to have the proxy on a different server, closer to the data center that the storage is in. But I don't know how to make that work. So right now it's on the same server as the PeerTube instance, which is a horrible round trip between San Jose and Helsinki for the data. Yeah, this is stuff that we were talking about earlier in the stream. Hey, Artisan, how's it going? How you doing? Well, Helsinki is a place in Europe. San Jose is a place in California. Loki is my cat, who's getting in the way of the camera sometimes. So I have a PeerTube instance that was being attacked, like I was saying. And by that I mean someone was coming in and trying to eat up all my bandwidth by running up my bandwidth bill, essentially. I don't know if this is for like AI scraper purposes or whatever, but one way or another, I had to make a little proxy to protect the S3 instance. We had to move everything to a new S3 bucket, and then I had to make an AI like a little proxy to protect the bucket from the AI scraper, so that I can log the IP addresses, do IP bans, all that stuff. Unfortunately, that proxy is in San Jose, and the S3 bucket is in Helsinki, which is a long way away. It's a long way for the data to travel back and forth before it even ever goes out to the end user, or the viewer of the videos. Hang on a second. I have to do something undignified. I'll give me a minute. Okay, and we're back. The bucket is kind of like a storage device. Yeah, it's a term from Amazon, I guess, originally, who came up with the protocol. But a bucket is a place where you can store some data. There's like a protocol that they use for interacting with it, and it can have, and you can host stuff that's accessible over the internet on it, or stuff that's private. Just stuff for systems to interact with instead of website, like a website. I had publicly accessible data on it, which was intentional because I have a website called video.expiredpopsicle.com where all of my VODs get posted to. VODs being video on demand, which is a recording of a stream. So everything that you see here is going to end up on video.expiredpopsicle.com. It'll look like this. This is video.expiredpopsicle.com. And as you can see, I have all of my VODs going back to oh, my scrolling finger's getting a little bit tired. Joint actuator's starting to wear out. Okay, here we go. About 2 years ago, August 2023, almost 3 years ago now. So we have almost 3 years worth of VODs on here, or of 6 out of 7 days a week streaming. So yeah, this is a lot of data. It's about 3.1 terabytes of video data. So you'd click on one of these videos. Let's click on this one. You click on one of these videos, and it would fetch the video data from that storage bucket in Helsinki, and that's what it would be displaying on the screen here. So the server, video.expiredpopsicle.com, that runs this software to allow people to view the VODs and the videos and stuff, is not the same place that the actual video data lives. So this server is in San Jose. The server that the video data lives on is in Helsinki, because it's a lot cheaper to host stuff through Hetzner, which is a company that has data centers in Helsinki and all over Europe. Yeah, again, software's running on a server in a data center in San Jose, my server that I personally own, but the video data is hosted on Hetzner's S3 storage in a bucket in Helsinki, right? So what someone had done is they had gone through all these videos and they had extracted the URL to the video data itself, and then they started re-downloading them over and over and over and over again. And Hetzner then started billing me more because it looked like I was using up more bandwidth. And so they actually skipped the PeerTube stuff. They went directly to attacking the S3 storage bucket in Helsinki. So now I have it set up so that the video data is still stored in Helsinki. It's in a different bucket that they don't have access to directly. And when they view a video on here, it accesses a URL that's on this server, which then does a little proxy and sends the request off to the S3 bucket in Helsinki. So now what happens is someone, let's say someone is in Europe somewhere. Let's say they're in Spain, for example, just off the top of my head. They want to watch a video on this instance, so they have to go to my server, which is in San Jose. And then my server will contact the server in Helsinki, and the server in Helsinki will send the video data to my server in San Jose, and the server in San Jose will then relay that to the person in Spain. So it makes this round trip across the globe twice because of just where all the things live in this whole setup. Now, one thing that I could use to fix that would be to take that proxy part of this that protects the S3 bucket and move that into Helsinki. So that way someone comes and watches a video here, and then their browser makes a direct request to a proxy in Helsinki, which then makes the request to the data center in Helsinki, and it would be a lot fewer round trips for the data, and it would probably be cheaper also. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Anyway, back to art. This also has an interesting side effect where every time I decide to shuffle buckets around and maybe move to a different provider or whatever, I don't actually have to update anything on the videos because they all use the same. I can just like rewrite where the proxy points to, which is kind of cool. I tried. Oh well. Bandwidth is expensive. Storage is expensive. Jerkass is trying to hoover up all my data repeatedly for training their stupid AI. Is not helping anything. I got one of my cats is staring at me passive-aggressively now. Hi, Thor. Hey, buddy. He's annoyed that there's a tablet in my lap instead of him. He's curled up against me right now, because it's the next best thing he got, but he still looks annoyed. Thor and Loki, yeah, we also got a Bucky, in case you were wondering which direction we were going with that that naming convention. It's Marvel characters. Loki's name is very, very, very appropriate. He is kind of a menace. He's that menace that you really, really love, you know? Kind of like Loki, the MCU character. The Loki series, by the way, for anyone who hasn't seen it, really, really good. Makes you uncomfortable in a really, really specific way. I like it. Okay, so the shape of these suckers that we were trying to put in is actually not correct. Also, what is this right here? Oh, it's a sucker on this tail. Okay. Or this arm. Okay. We're closing in on end of stream time today, unfortunately. Gotta wrap up in about 10 minutes or so. I mean, support? Well, I guess Twitch is fine. I do have a Ko-fi, if you want to like throw money at me or something. But if you want to support me, so I'm actually doing okay like financially. So if you're gonna support me, I would maybe request instead that you send money to like a we're not doing a charity stream for my birthday this year. So if you want to send money to Trans Lifeline or the Trevor Project, that would actually be really, really awesome. I would appreciate that very much. But yeah, we'll maybe do something in June. We'll see how it goes. Celebration of a different thing besides my birthday, though. Yeah. So like yeah, they're both really, really good charities. Sees butt and tentacle. We're drawing mermaid art. It's some wholesome stuff. Sorry. we're not drawing anything that well, hopefully not drawing anything that Twitch would get angry at us about. It's just it's a little intimate, I guess. But there's nothing like overtly sexual happening, at least. This is the extent of the tentacle action that we're getting right now. Is we have one of the Cecilia's tentacles is wrapped around the girl's leg. It's mermaid, and I like drawing Yuri, so you know we already did some mermaid stuff. Now we're doing Cecilia. The art from last time was I'm really unhappy with how this one turned out because with the pose, this one right here, this is cute. It's cute. That's it. Boring pose though. You know, at least you have a background. That's kind of cool. Very watercolory kind of coloring on it that I'm not a super huge fan of, but we tried it. It was okay. But yeah, this pose right here, this sitting here and just kind of like leaning over a bit, that's pretty boring. This pose, on the other hand, is very dynamic. I'm very happy about that. I'm trying to improve as an artist, you know? It's creation left abandoned without purpose. I am alone yet here. Those lyrics. Sometimes Rob from Machine's Premises are really hard to understand. Strands across my field of view. Tomorrow turns to day, and in the sky I see a soaring bird of prey. And I'll see them all begin to sway. I sense a storm is coming my way. Can barely see as the sky erupts in light. Hell falls all around me, then suddenly it's night. Okay, I'm pretty mediocre at drawing feet. Let's be real here. The tune the city reaches for the sky. I'm left alone here and I can't remember why. I'm on a rooftop in a vast garden of concrete. Silence echoes in the street. The atmosphere is torn. Instinct is screaming for shelter from the storm. I can barely see as the sky erupts in light. Oops. Thanks for the follow, JJ. Sorry the follower alerts didn't show up. I gotta go walk outside. Walking outside is pretty cool. I like doing it sometimes. Could almost be convinced that I enjoy touching grass. I do, in fact, like going outside and touching grass. Or in my case, touching beach sand, usually. Usually when it's like, I want to go for a walk, it's like, I'm going to the beach. I live within walking distance of a beach, so. I always kind of wondered when I moved here if it was gonna get, it's like, am I gonna get tired of going to the beach? And the answer is no. I love going to the beach still, even after like 7 years living here. I am, yeah, I'm one of those. Yep.
And now for something completely.
Santa Cruz is a beautiful place. That's all I'm saying. Yesterday, actually, not yesterday, the day before yesterday, I actually was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the beach. I'm gonna go to the boardwalk. I'm gonna get one of those veggie corn dogs. Oh my god, it was so good. Sometimes you just need a veggie corn dog at a beach boardwalk, you know? Sounds like you want to hang out with the sea snakes. Is that a euphemism for something? But possibly. I mean, if they're cute girls, then sure, yeah. Could draw a sea snake girl sometime. You know what? Mermaid's not over yet. We might still have time to do more than 2 mermaid arts. Oof, I need more practice drawing tentacles. Mind out of the gutter, wholesome tentacles. You know what I'm talking about. Come on. I want to draw more Cecilias. sea snakes are greatly underappreciated and are underrepresented. Yeah. Yeah, I know what VTuber fans are like, alright. Alright, that'll do for that. We gotta go through and draw all... We're like halfway through the tentacles now, so we're actually making pretty good progress here. But it is time, unfortunately, to wrap it up. So I think we are going to go figure out someone to raid. I'm gonna pet this adorable cat next to me. And he's gonna get up and walk away. Alright, who have we not raided in some time? I think we will raid... Let's go ahead and raid... let's go ahead and raid Lane. Oops. Alright, there's the raid message. I'm gonna wait through an ad before we kick off the raid. I need to find that video, or that tab that I just had her up on. There we go. Okay, there we go. Let me get this exported also, so it's ready to pay the art tax. We're gonna export to WebP, that way no one can take and reuse my art. Just kidding. That's not something that prevents people from doing that. But it makes people complain about it, which is funny. Okay, well, thank you everyone for joining me for another week. Thank you everyone for joining me for another weekday morning art/dev stream. Really appreciate having y'all here. You're all awesome and amazing. Hope to see you next time. Take it easy, take care, be kind, show compassion, show empathy. Don't get in a knife fight. Use containers, and just, you know, stay safe. The world is a complex and difficult place right now to be in, but I hope you all stay safe. All right. But yeah, y'all have a great Monday, or as great as Mondays can be. I know how it goes. All right, get out of here. I'm gonna go raid. Why does my browser always keep crashing? For some reason on my laptop, my browser just like crashes all the time, or the Twitch video player always crashes.